those days. Oh.
All right. Well, good evening, everybody. It is 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. My name's Jerrod Ewing. I am one of your hosts for tonight. We also have Nate Maddox joining us on the call with a guest as well. But before we get rolling, we always like to do the one thing that it's got to be my favorite thing to do every Monday night, which is when we get the team on the call. I love to read off the leaderboards for last week. I know how hard each and every one of you go out and work on a weekly basis, whether you do this on a full-time basis or you do it on a part-time basis. I like to recognize you because, to me, I think it's the American dream to be able to go out and work and get recognized for everything you've done so hard, and just congratulations for it. So let's read off the leaderboards and start it off. We got our top 10 sales for last week. Coming in at number 10 spot, we had Robin Barone. Robin did $5,665 last week. Congratulations, Robin. Love seeing you in the top 10 for the week. Coming in at number 9 spot, we had Noel Mahabir with $6,661. Coming in at the number 8 spot with 9 applications last week, Paul Porcaro. And I saw Paul down in Boca a couple weeks ago, and he assured me that he was going to make a move to pass up Scott Dubner. So I'm looking forward to seeing Paul do that. And listen, 9 apps, killer job, Paul. Way to go. So way to really have just a great week with helping 9 families last week. Coming in at number 7 spot, George Jamel, $8,775. Coming in at number 6 spot, one of our regional managers and just a massive builder in his own right, Darren Willis, $8,803. Coming in at number 5 spot, another regional manager, Ryan Dubner, $9,416 last week. Coming in at number 4 spot, Christian Pounder, $10,254. Coming in at number 3 spot, Scott Dubner with $12,126. So, Paul, you got a little bit of ways to go. So he was $4,000 ahead of you last week. Coming in at number 2 spot, Nicole Hansen, $12,256 last week. And coming in number 1 spot and really just kind of jumped away with it last week was Kim Rawlings, $58,161 last week. $58,161 last week. Congratulations, Kim. Great week last week. Congratulations to everybody in the top 10. Way to go. Our top 3 sales managers for last week, coming in number 3 spot was Georgia Mel's team. Coming in number 2 spot for the sales manager team was Nicole Hansen. And coming in number 1 is Tony Pompiliu's group last week with the top spot for the sales managers. Our top 3 regional managers last week, number 3 was Ryan Dubner. Number 2 was Nate Maddox, who's joining me on the call tonight. Number 1, Nate, you've been holding the number 1 spot pretty steadily, but David Schneider beat you out last week. So congratulations, David, on an excellent week, my friend. That was fantastic. Way to go. And David makes sure every time listen, Nate, he beats you, he points it out. First thing he texted me this morning is make sure you look at the leaderboards for last week. And I was like, oh my goodness, he's right. He went out and he had a killer week last week, him and his group. So congratulations, David, on and all your team, everybody who's part of David Schneider's organization. Congratulations to each and every one of you. Amazing week. Our builder of the week last week, this was the person who's building the most in their agency last week. Our builder of the week last week was none other than Rick Azuri. Congratulations, Rick. Rick and Tamara added 19 more people to the organization last week, and I'll tell you, they're going to have they're having a fight. They're having a fight to keep that top spot because the number 2 person was 1 less than them. And so, but listen, there's only one number 1. So congratulations, Rick and Tamara, for a great week last week. And last but not least, our rookie of the week. My favorite spot, period, bar none, the rookie of the week. Because again, so if you're on the call and you're brand new, the rookie of the week, let me tell you why, if I'm you, I'm pushing for it. Because it's the only award given on a monthly and a weekly basis that you could only achieve one time. So you can only be the rookie of the week. You can only be the rookie of the week one time. You can only be a rookie of the month one time. That's it. After that, it's done. Like we just heard like Kim Rawlings and Nicole Hansen and Scott Dubner and all these guys. They can never be the rookie of the week. They can never be the rookie of the month. So our rookie of the week last week is on the charts to maintain and hit the rookie of the month. So you got three more weeks to hit the rookie of the month to sweep that spot. But congratulations to our rookie of the week last week. It was Manny Perose. Manny Perose. Manny wrote at $2,028 in premium last week. Congratulations, Manny. You are the rookie of the week. We had a ton of people brand new last week go out and write business, but Manny ended up catching that number one spot by literally $30, Manny. You caught it by $30. So the number two rookie last week is still in the running for the rookie of the month. So Manny, make sure you don't let up and go after it this upcoming week and the next 3 weeks to hold on to that top spot. And your manager is definitely going to be telling you all about that. So congratulations, however, Manny, you are your first week ever selling, and you're the rookie of the week. Congratulations. That's a one-time award that you can ever win, and that's you got it, my friend. So congratulations. So and again, if your name wasn't read and you went out and made sales last week, congratulations. We had an amazing week last week. We have a ton of brand new people that wrote business last week and a ton of people coming on board. Matter of fact, last week we had the most people ever come on board and actually submit contracts for new carriers last week. So congratulations. What a great week for everybody. All right. So we're going to roll into it. So hopefully while I'm doing this, I'm going to kind of set this call up. So I asked Nate, I said, hey, Nate, or actually we were talking on our manager's call last week, and we were talking about, like, we always want to talk to guests on the call that can make an impact. And I think there's no guest more important than people who literally come out the gates. They start selling, they start building their agencies, they just start all around making big moves, and they just commit to the process. Because the one thing that, and y'all have heard this in your entire lives, right? The people who do not commit don't ever achieve, right? You don't commit, you never achieve. So I love people who commit to the process of going out there and following the training systems. Like if you are not getting on the Monday through Friday roundtable calls that are at 10 a.m. every single morning, you definitely should. If you're not getting the success, whether part-time or full-time, commit to that. Even if you can't get on every morning, try to get on those, right? If you haven't got on the Thursday night call that they do, they have a call every Thursday night that they recommend you invite guests onto, right? Scott Dubner was on that call last week. It was an amazing call. I watched it. And they want to talk to brand new people. They want to tell people about how they went out and did what they did. And Scott Dubner knocked it out of the park last Thursday. So great job, Scott. But you commit to things like that because one of the things you're trying to do is you're trying to be better than you've ever been before, right? Like our goal is always to be better. I went to a football game. I went to a flag football game this weekend, and I was talking to one of the little boys after the flag football game. And he was really down on himself because he didn't achieve as much as he wanted to. And I walked up to him. I said, listen, you did great. You had a great job, but there's always room to be better and improve. And so what are you trying to work on? What do you need to work on? And he labeled, he was like, I need to learn to run routes better. And it's like, you got to commit to the process. You got to commit to the process. You got to utilize the system to become a better version of you every single day and every single week. So I love people who commit to the process. And Nate was like, hey, listen, I think we should get Haley on the call to talk this week with us. And so I said, Nate, I want you on the call too. And so I invited Nate and Haley on the call. But here's what I wanted. Here's what I asked Nate to do is I asked Nate to just talk to Haley, right? Because I wanted to hear what Haley's doing. So Nate, I'm going to turn it over to you. What I'd like you and Haley to do is I'd like you to kind of set her up and kind of, listen, Haley's just getting going with us. She was at our conference a few weeks ago, but she's committed to the process. She's committing to improving, but she's doing some stuff like making some sales and building business. So why don't you give some accolades or give maybe read off a little bit of what Haley's done real quick, and then jump into just kind of asking her some questions. And listen, I'm gonna let you know, Haley, because I know you can hear me and you're unmuted. I'll probably jump in and ask you questions too. But and I'll try not to catch you too much off guard, but I like to kind of dig into what people are doing. So Nate, I'm gonna turn it over to you, and then I'll jump back and forth with you on questions if there's something comes up with me.
Absolutely, Jerrod. Thanks for having me on the call, my friend. Happy Monday, everybody. Incredible numbers on the leaderboard. David Schneider, I see you, man. We're coming, right? Congrats last week. I know Jerrod loved to stir the pot. So, man, I'm excited to talk to Haley and introduce you guys to her. This company and this whole thing that we do, I feel like has been built for you, Haley, for people like, just regular people that even haven't had any experience doing something like this, which we'll kind of get into, but that's just the power of the system and the team to be able to, not everyone follows the system, but you'll see the common denominator of people that, win early here. They all follow the system, and, winners win early. Right. So, when I met Haley, and I'll let her, talk to us about that here in a moment. But whenever I met Haley, she immediately just started doing all the things right, showing the signs of, someone that, the common denominator signs of somebody that would do well in this business, like whatever they say they're going to do, they actually do. That's a big one, right? She got licensed, got her school done really, really quickly, got contracted with the insurance companies, and I believe she went to conference in Orlando. So I think that might have we're going to ask her about that. I don't know if that had something maybe to do with some of her success, but, Haley is, is very, very new into her journey, right? But she has actually just got approved for 2 more policies right now. I just pulled up my email, and she's very new, so she's still learning the process of everything. And Haley, we need to report those. Looks like we forgot to report them, or she would have been more on the leaderboard that you read off earlier. So, Haley, we've got some questions for you. I'm going to keep it pretty casual, my friend. But are you on the call with us?
I'm on.
Awesome. So, Haley, when did we first talk? Do you remember how long ago that was?
That was about 2 months ago, I think.
Does it feel like it's been longer or shorter than that?
Honestly, shorter. I feel like time goes by. I felt like we've accomplished a lot already, just learning and growing. But yeah, it really doesn't seem like it's been that long. I mean, conference seemed like last week.
Okay, so I'm gonna have you introduce yourself and where you came from. How did you get here?
All right. Well, I was kind of a mom, and I was working third shift randomly here and there, or unemployed, kind of whichever came around. Struggling a bit, trying to make ends meet with my fiance, and basically just really pushing through the best we could. And then somehow I stumbled upon this ad on Craigslist.
Okay. So a Craigslist ad. Okay. And go ahead and introduce your full name and where you are. Where do you live?
Haley Gordon, and I live in Cleveland, Tennessee.
Very good. Okay.
And thanks for having me on the call tonight, Jerrod and Nate, and letting me talk to everybody.
Oh, I'm jumping in right now, Nate. I got to ask a question because now Haley's got me intrigued about something because I'm sure everybody else is too. So, Haley, you said, so your mom, how many kids do you have, first off?
I consider myself to be a mom of 3.
You're mom of 3. Mom of 3.
Yes.
All right. How old are they?
I have a 17-year-old, a 13-year-old, and a 2-year-old.
Okay, so you're busy. Okay.
Busy.
Busy. All right. And you were working, you said, this is the part where it kind of got me curious. You said you were working, when you ran into Nate, you were working third shift. Where were you working third shift? And can you explain to anybody who doesn't know what that is, what third shift is?
Yeah, I was working at Food City at night, and so I could be able to take care of the kids and go to cheerleading and all that and be up with the baby. But I was working all night at Food City just trying to make ends meet and pay the bills. Not much of a life there. It's a very exhausting life. I'll say that first and foremost.
So like, listen, and we're going to get into insurance stuff in a second, but I gotta make sure people understand this. So you got a 17 or 13-year-old, and how old's your baby again?
She's 2.
2, and a 2-year-old. Okay. So you were taking care of the kids during the day, and then at night you were going to Food City. I would assume you were doing something like stocking at that point, correct?
I was preparing food, so I was like making
prepping. Okay, yeah. So you're prepping food. So like we should love you because like if I go to like buy prepackaged food from my Publix here or like you're the hardworking woman that was doing stuff like that.
Yeah, I was making the sandwiches good.
And what was the third shift hours?
I went in at 6 and got off at about 4.
So 6 p.m. and got off at 4 a.m.
Yeah, so I had about 3 hours of sleep before everyone got up and started the day, 3-4 hours. Okay.
So like Nate, this is like, so then now I want to know, so you, Haley, so you happened to be tired of doing what you're doing, opened up a Craigslist ad and saw an ad that Nate Maddox posted up. Craigslist.
Yeah. I was looking for an at-home job, kind of something that I could work more around my schedule because I was exhausted. And for some reason, I checked through Indeed. I checked through all the normal job apps, and I was like, maybe somebody's got something, just odd jobs painting houses or something on Craigslist. And I saw this, and I mean, I believed. I don't know. I was kind of just hoping at that point. I thought, there's no way this is true. I went on there, talked with Nate, and sure enough, I was hooked from the moment I talked to Nate.
So you went out and got your license, and how long did it take you to get your license? By the way, because you were already killing. See, Haley, I come from my mom was a single mom and worked 3 jobs, so I love hardworking people, right? Especially women that are taking care of kids. I got tons of respect for that. You were already working just to make sure your kids were taken care of. So Nate, whatever Nate told you, and we'll ask him in a second, or maybe you can tell us, got you intrigued about the business enough to go get your license. How long did it take you to go get that license?
About 2 weeks. I did the class and got licensed and everything. I was working in about 2.5 weeks with Nate.
Jerrod, I'll chime in on.
Yeah, please do, because I'm just going, isn't that crazy, Nate, that she's going out there working like crazy and is still able to go get that license. Go ahead, Nate.
Yes. Well, I just looked at pulled it up in the system. She was passed her test, licensed and contracted with the insurance companies on February 15th, and we talked at the very end of January. The other thing she didn't mention was before she, even knew about the $1,000 bonus or, some of the other incentives, I had another name in my schedule for an interview, and I called, and I thought it was from an ad or one of the other things we were doing, and it was a referral from Haley. So she actually brought another agent on who finished their class at the same time, caught up with her, and got licensed, and then they all signed up for conference, and she brought another agent that got licensed the day before conference. So when was conference? You remember?
March.
First week of March.
Yeah, so February 15th. So for the first week of March, she hadn't had time to really, try to run her first couple of appointments and start to even barely, wrap her head around, the process and start getting her process down to run appointments. And she shows up in conference with another 2 writing agents. So that's what I mean by winners win early, right?
Dude, that's unbelievable. No, so Nate and Haley, go through the process. Like, what's going on? Like, have you made sales? Tell us some stuff about what you got going on.
Okay. Haley is, just really focused on, we're analyzing everything. So Haley, do you track your numbers?
I do.
And she sends me her numbers every week. And, have you ever done anything like this remotely, even like this before?
No, I would have never guessed I could sell anybody anything.
And so it's all very new. So, we're being very intentional about, what we're focusing on. And that's, this whole thing is just, what do we need to improve at next? Like you were saying earlier, Jerrod, you can always improve somewhere, starting with the fundamentals. We've exhausted every lead, I think, within an hour radius of Haley's house that's ever been created. I think her or one of her crew has talked to everyone, has been on their front door, closing a file out. And what are you focused on improving next, Haley? What is your next mission that you're focused on here?
I would like to focus more on virtual appointments. I feel like I really needed the in-person appointments to kind of get my processes down and figure that out. But I'm really trying to expand how far out I can go. I want to take over anywhere that I can and really, make sure everyone's taken care of and really just figure out, how to talk to people and deal with people on virtual appointments and kind of capitalize on that aspect.
Do you feel like, and I know it was a stretch. I mean, you're.
Hey, Nate, I got another question for her. Yeah, because
okay.
I want you to keep talking to her. But Haley, why do you sell what we sell? Why do you do it?
Honestly, I do it. I really want to help people. I feel like I've seen it. I've been around it. People that end up struggling after something happens, and I know how hard it can be. And really, it's just something I don't want to see people go through. And I hear Nate talking, and he's delivered death claims to people. And I mean, just being able to help somebody in really, it could be the most difficult time of their life. I feel like really that just inspires me to keep pushing. And, Nate, at first I was too nervous to be too pushy with people, but Nate's like, they might not realize that this is something that they need, but when time comes, it really is really beneficial for everyone, I feel like, and I'm just here to help.
Listen, if you walked into my house and started just telling me that, I'd probably buy a policy from you today. Like, I think you just got a natural innocence about you, about what you're doing for people, and I think that's what is going to help you out a long way. And then, so Nate, keep going what you guys are going at, but can you tell us about her numbers so far, like what she's been doing?
Yes, and I'm having to add what she just wrote, so it's another 1,100. Her and her team, which they're running their first appointments, right? They've submitted so far right at $9,000. Okay, and that's just, they haven't really had a real full month, altogether. But that's just their making those first couple mistakes, right? And figuring out what to improve on. That's the situation they're in, but everybody is moving. They've done right under 10,000, which, hey, if we would have done that, if that gets approved, then that's hitting her first promotion right there. Haley, how do you feel about getting paid $1,000 monthly bonus? Is that something that you're working towards?
It is. I'd like
Have you ever been in a situation where, the Food City do that? They give you a $12,000 raise? Is that been an option before?
Most definitely not.
Haley,
Yeah.
Haley, have you been paid on any policies yet? Like, I want to know. Listen. I'm going, like, Nate. You gotta understand. Like, I'm listening to Haley. I'm going, this lady was good. I think you're crazy anyway, because you were working swing hours trying to take care of kids and working with your kids. What I want to know is, have you got paid on a policy? Yes or no?
Yes.
So you got paid on at least one. On at least one.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. How can you tell us how much you got paid on that policy? Do you mind telling us?
Oh, what was it? Well, my first appointment that I closed, it was a married couple, and I think it was almost $600.
Okay.
On two policies.
You made $600 on 2 policies. Now here, so simple. Listen, and Haley, as you grow older in this business, meaning like you start selling more, because I know you already are, right? You're already selling more. You're gonna make a lot more money. But the question I got asked, because I think people underestimate stuff sometimes. Like, it was, let's just say you made the $600, something right around there, right? How long would it? How many days would you have had to work where you were previously working to make that $600? That's what I want to know.
A week and a half, maybe, if I made it the whole time, the whole shift.
So
for about a week and a half.
A week and a half, and how long was that total appointment? Like, stretch it, like driving, because you ran the appointment physically face to face, which is fine. Listen, I have no qualms with people do virtual or do face to face. Doesn't matter to me either way. But how long did it take you from driving there, from running the appointment, driving back, fixing your apps? How long did it take you in total hours?
Well, I would probably give it 3 hours. And
3 hours.
Yeah,
3
I was
hours.
real new. I barely understood the application.
You probably messed up
from before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you understand, you just told me it would have taken you a week and a half to make that, working all through the night, and you did it in 3 hours.
I did.
Like, isn't that amazing?
It really is. It's crazy.
I told Haley, when the guy, his name was Mike, told me about this business 14 years ago, he told me I made $500 every time I made a sale. That's what he told me. And I was like, so I can just go out and talk to people, help them protect their family. I make $500 every time I make a sale on average. He was like, yeah. And I was like, it don't matter how many people I help. I can help as many as I want. He's like, as many as you want. I thought it was the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life. Like, I was just like, dude, so if I wanted to work 40 hours this week, all during the day while my kids were at school, I could make that much money, as much money as I want, right?
Right.
Hey, so and Nate just texted me. I want to know this. How he said, ask her how she's hiring people. How are you hiring people? Because clearly there's something I don't know. Tell me how you're hiring people. Tell me what you're doing.
I am telling everybody. I mean, even people that aren't interested, I'm saying, I know you know somebody that could use a little bit. I'm not really pushy with it. I'm not trying to get people to quit their jobs. I'm like, hey, do you need some extra money? And I'm also, here recently I've been doing the oh, by the way rule at the end of my appointments. I'm like, oh, by the way, if you know somebody that needs extra income or anybody, that needs a policy. So kind of trying to capitalize on the clients that I already have to bring in business and build my business. So really just word of mouth.
Nate, keep talking to her. I want to know
more. Okay. So I think that this is worth mentioning because I know how big of a stretch it was and how logically there's no way it could have made any sense for you and your crew to load up and drive, 8-9 hours to Orlando, Florida, and, go to this conference for 3 days down in Orlando. And had you made any money before you did that, before you made that commitment?
I did not.
Okay. That says almost everything right there. Here's what I want to know. Do you feel like you would be in the situation you're in now and the direction that you are currently heading in if you wouldn't have been at that conference?
Probably not. I feel like everyone was pretty motivational. I was ready to listen to anybody and everybody that would talk. Anybody that would talk to me, my ears were open. I was ready to take in as much knowledge as I could.
What would you say, if you had to boil one thing down, what would you say was your biggest takeaway from that weekend?
It probably would have been the "oh, by the way" rule. I feel like that just capitalizes on so much, just in different angles. It's just something so simple and so easy, but it can go so far.
So people might not know what you're talking about because, hey, they weren't at conference. Maybe they just started. They're running their first appointments now. Real quick, we're gonna run out of time here soon, but very fast. Can you tell them what you mean by that?
Yeah, the "oh, by the way" rule is just at the end of an appointment, whether you closed or didn't close. Oh, by the way, if you know anybody, that needs a policy or needs taken care of, or know anybody that I could help, or oh, by the way, if you know anybody that is interested in earning a little bit more money, we are hiring and we are here to help.
Do you recommend that people go to conference or meetings that we have whenever we have one?
Definitely, and I'd probably say to be a little bit more pushy to talk to who they want to, talk to, join in any conversation. I mean, really, really push yourself to communicate with anybody you can there.
And I know we're going to see you down in Atlanta, right? We'll see you down in Atlanta with the CEO, Barry, at the leadership meeting here Thursday in Atlanta, correct?
Yep, I will be there.
Absolutely.
Haley, do me a favor. When you get to Atlanta, you come find me. I'll make sure you get in front of everybody you need to get in front of. I promise.
Perfect.
All right. Hey,
I love that.
And I will tell you, I wish, because we could talk to Haley for 2 hours right now, and I would never get tired of it, because it's one of those things where, and Haley, I told Christian this last week on the call, and please understand this, and I don't mean it in a mean way, but I said stay dumb, because the dumb people are the ones who become the smartest ones in this business. So just stay simple. Don't try to be smart. Just follow directions. Get in front of the right people. Ask a ton of questions. I love what you said. Be pushy. Be extra pushy. Don't get smart. Just stay simple in this business, because that is where you make all your money. It's the people who want to overanalyze and think they're smart and want to change the system. They're the ones that end up becoming the dumb ones. So just stay simple. Okay?
I will.
Hey, well, congratulations on yourself so far. Make sure you report your business like Nate said, because that's how you get bonus money. We want bonus money, so we want to be making extra. So maybe Nate can throw Sonia an email and get her to fix that for you. But we want you to get bonuses. Good. We want you to get bonuses. So keep going. So don't let up. We'll see you on Thursday for sure. We look forward to it for sure. And I will be talking to you more, because I want to make sure that you go out there and you keep doing what you're doing. And I love what you're, oh, by the way, to people. I love hearing that you're talking to people and just telling them about what you do. And remember, we're in a world of rejection. The people who cannot get hurt by the rejections are the ones that do the best. Okay? So keep pushing through it.
I'll say this in closing, Jerrod. Haley does a really good job at, focusing in the direction that, she knows that as we grow and as we, go in this business, she's going to be focusing on new things. Right now, she just got a microphone, so she can run her virtual appointments, and she's going to figure that out. But what she does is a really good job of following direction, and like Jerrod said, continue doing that. But she also does a good job of leveraging, the resources in her team, which really what I mean by that is me, leverages me to build her business. She's focusing on going out, getting her processes down enough to be able to go run appointments and pay her bills, right? Go pay her bills. And that's all she's focused on right now. Other than that, she's really just leveraging me to speak with, with everybody she talks to from by the way. She just throws them over to me and, keeps her head down, continuing to build her processes. And I'll mention that because so many people, Jerrod, so many people don't do that. They want to wait until they've got everything figured out before they ever give anybody else a shot. And I'm pretty sure the other agents on Haley's team right now are very, very grateful that she didn't do that, because they already have the same opportunity right now. They're building their processes. They're starting to get their first deposits. And so I just really wanted to, bring that up. That's important, and we wish more people would do it. But kudos to you, Haley, for seeing that opportunity and taking advantage of that, and that resource, using your resources that you have. So.
Yeah, excellent job. Keep it up, and again, come find me. That goes to everybody. Whoever's in Atlanta this week, come find me. Just say, hey, who do I need to talk to? I'll point you in the right direction. You come talk to me, talk to any of the managers up there. But your job for yourself is to improve yourself at every step of the way. Just continue to improve. So if you're going to Atlanta, we look forward to seeing you. If you haven't decided if you're going to go, don't worry about registering. Show up. Starts at 9:30 on the 11th at the Best Road Marriott at the Atlanta airport. Come find us. We'll be there, and travel safely. But go out and have just a crazy week. And by the way, maybe implement the "oh, by the way" this week, because that was a great tip Haley just gave you. As "oh, by the way." "Oh, by the ways" can get you more sales, can help more families, can protect more people from bad days, and can also show you people in an economic time, the economic times we're in the United States of America. It's the best business you can do from a part-time perspective. Go, "oh, by the way." I challenge everybody on this call. Go, "oh, by the way," somebody this week. I bet you it works. I bet you it works. Try me. So, Haley, Nate, thank you guys both for being on call. We appreciate you so much. To everybody, great week last week. Let's go out and kill it this week. And we'll talk to you guys all on Monday. Take care. Bye-bye.